upgraded in any way. Odyssey was holding her right shoulder.
The Indiana Fever finally gave their fans what they'd been waiting years for, a playoff win. It should have been a night of pure celebration. Headlines should have been about Lexi Hull's game-winning steal, about Kelsey Mitchell's clutch shooting, and about Aaliyah Boston dominating in the paint. Instead, the story took a wild turn. Because somehow, the spotlight shifted from the Fever's victory to a confrontation between Sophie Cunningham and a league-hired security guard. Now, let's be clear. Sophie wasn't in uniform. She wasn't about to check in. She was standing courtside in a bulky leg brace, clearly nowhere near game ready. She wasn't rushing the floor. She wasn't causing trouble. But a security guard decided to play sheriff, barking at Sophie as if she had just stormed the court in the middle of a brawl.
Oh, Sophie, you're like that? Yeah, Chloe, she's like that. She's like that. She ain't moving. Oh, and then she puts her hands on the hip. Let me talk to your manager. Oh, shit. All right, Sophie, say no more. Say no more. Now, when your teammate gets injured, you're allowed to hop on the court and just to see if your teammate's doing good. So, injured, healthy. So, Chloe, Sophie, they had every right to be on the court over here.
So here's the question. Was this just a clueless overreaction from one overzealous rent-a-cop? Or was it part of something bigger, a troubling pattern we've already seen in the WNBA? Because when you look at the history, it's hard not to ignore the possibility that Sophie was singled out deliberately. And the way she handled it told the story. Calm. Defiant. Refusing to be intimidated.
Why in the F is that security guard all up on Sophie Cunningham? And, look, I think there is a reason she got up in Sophie's face. And I don't think there was any need to sort of bow up to Sophie like that. I don't think, and to Sophie's credit, she did not back down at all.
Think about the optics. Sophie Cunningham, visibly injured, standing at midcourt. The security guard, leaning in, looking determined to escalate what should have been nothing. The cameras caught it all. Sophie's face shifting from puzzled to annoyed to the trademark Cunningham glare fans know so well. That look that says, really? This is what you're doing right now? And the internet exploded. Within minutes, clips of Sophie's stare down were everywhere. The reaction was unanimous outrage. Not at Sophie, but at the league. Fans saw it for what it was, not enforcement, but harassment.
So Odyssey Sims goes down hard. And Sophie Cunningham, Caitlinclark, Chloe Bibby are waiting for her at half court. And the cop tries to get Sophie Cunningham to move. Sophie Cunningham was like, "You're not going to get me to move. I'm waiting for Odyssey." And you could see during the review, look at Sophie Cunningham clapping, not moving, waiting for her teammate. That's the Fever for you.
And here's where it gets deeper. This isn't just about one awkward moment. This plays directly into the narrative that's followed Sophie throughout her career. She's outspoken. She challenges the script. She's unapologetically confident. And for that, she's been painted as the villain. By rival fans. By media. And now, by the league itself. Let's not forget, this is the same Sophie Cunningham who trends regularly on social media, whose highlights rack up millions of views, and whose fan base is one of the most loyal in women's basketball. She's good for business. But instead of embracing her, the WNBA seems intent on turning her into a problem. And the fans noticed. Comments poured in across Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Some said outright, Sophie gets treated this way because she doesn't fit the league's preferred image. Others pointed out the double standard. If a Paige Buchers or an Angel Reese had been in Sophie's spot, the narrative would have been different. Their fire would be framed as leadership. Their passion is love for the game. But with Sophie, suddenly she's the threat. The hashtags told the story, hashtag #FreeSophie and hashtag WNBA exposed started trending within hours.
Folks, I didn't realize how much fun I would have watching these people break down. It's a meltdown. It's a meltdown on Twitter today. It's embarrassing to a certain extent. Not for me, for them. And then we got the Caitlinclark and the Indiana Fever getting booed as they're getting off their court.
Here's the kicker. Sophie didn't escalate. She didn't cause a scene. She stood her ground, glared, and refused to be bullied. She showed more composure in that moment than the very security guard who confronted her. And that's why the clip went viral. Because the drama didn't come from Sophie. It came from the league. Now let's connect the dots. We've seen this before. Remember when referees complained about Dejonae Carrington? The league and the Players Association rushed to defend her. They framed it as unfair treatment, as bias. So why the silence now? Why no defense for Sophie Cunningham? Why is it only the fans calling out the double standard?
This out right here. Yeah, you see this guy right here? Right in this Gentile area? You see this guy? The ref asked this dude to step out here. All right? Now, Cheryl Swoops wants this referee fired. She wants him fired. Look, he felt something. He felt something was amiss. Of course, Cheryl Swoops is defending Dejonae Carrington.
Here's the irony. The very thing the WNBA seems to resent about Sophie Cunningham, her defiance, her refusal to play nice with the league's preferred image, is exactly what makes her so popular. Fans love her because she's real. She's unfiltered. She says the things everyone else is too afraid to say. That's the kind of energy a league desperate for mainstream relevance should be celebrating. But instead of embracing her as a draw, the WNBA seems determined to minimize her. Just look at the marketing. How many times have you seen Sophie front and center in league promos? Almost never. Yet her name trends constantly, her highlights rack up clicks, and her interviews get replayed more than players the league pushes twice as hard. And when controversy hits, the double standard is impossible to miss. If Sophie gets into a dust-up, she's branded the villain. If Angel Reese does the same thing, suddenly it's called passion, swagger, leadership. Fans see it, and they're not stupid. The favoritism is obvious. And when a leg-braced Sophie got barked at by security for the crime of caring about her teammates, that hypocrisy reached a new low. There's really no logical answer left except the uncomfortable one. Fans are already whispering, Sophie Cunningham is being singled out.
It was one of those games. It was such a good W game. Like it was physical. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of great plays. But I just knew deep down in my gut that we were going to win. Like somehow we were going to win. And like, I think there was like a minute or like 40, I don't even know, like around 40 seconds left. And they left our all-star player wide open under the hoop for the go-ahead layup. And then Lexi Hull had a freaking badass steal and like it was over. But
here's where the damage goes beyond Sophie herself. Because casual fans are watching, too many of them drawn in this season by Caitlinclark's star power. These are newcomers who dipped their toes into the WNBA for the first time. And what did they see? Not Lexi Hull's clutch steal. Not the Fever's grit in a playoff win. No, they saw Sophie Cunningham versus the mall cop. When outsiders see a league more focused on needless drama than basketball, they don't walk away impressed. They walk away convinced the WNBA is unserious. And that perception? That's lethal. The backlash was instant. Fans unleashed their fury online, and it wasn't polite. Comment sections lit up with blistering attacks on Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, blasting her for presiding over what some called the most embarrassing league in professional sports. Others went even further, calling for her resignation, accusing her of turning the WNBA into a circus act. Because when fans care more about your controversies than your competition, that's not growth. That's collapse disguised as buzz.
Kathy Engelbert, we need an investigation. Call the FBI. Call the local police department.
Meanwhile, Sophie herself handled the mess better than anyone else could have. She didn't blow up. She didn't hand the league ammunition. She stood her ground, let her body language say it all, and sent one clear message: you won't intimidate me. And fans noticed. They flooded her social media with support, turning her into the hero of the night. Once again, Sophie proved that when the league tries to diminish her, it only makes her stronger.
the league is so mad that we won because we're literally not supposed to be here at all. And that just like kind of fuels our fire even more. But it was just like so fun. It was one of those games that, first of all, I was sweating my ass off because I was so nervous, and like I don't really get anxious about stuff. I was so anxious. Like I could not sit still. I was legit. I felt like I played with how much I was sweating.
And I think we all know that if there's one thing that male sports fans want to see in their spaces and on their screens, it's more of me.
But this isn't just about Sophie. It points to a much bigger issue, the WNBA's disturbing track record of failing to protect and promote the very players who drive its success. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.